Hi everyone, this is Brooke Skidmore with Awake and Arise, and today is Monday, April 6th, and today for our sports psychology tip, I thought I might give a quick shout out to my grandma. Her birthday was a few days ago, Margaret Skidmore. Perhaps you've heard of her. She is one of my role models and one of my favorite people in the universe. And if you're like me, maybe you have a grandma or a parent or grandpa or mentor, someone older than you who has been able to give you wisdom and life advice. And my grandma was that way too. And some of my advice that I talk about with my clients came from my grandma. I remember a time my brother was telling her about a soccer game that he had played that weekend and he had lost. He was maybe like 8 or 9 years old. And he was talking to her about it. He was pretty disappointed. And I remember she paused and then all she said was, well, you win some, you lose some. And it wasn't that she was being unsympathetic, it wasn't that she didn't care, but that's just life. And it was so true. You can't argue with that. You do. You win some and you lose some. And I think sometimes for athletes, as we talk about losses, as we talk about adversity, sometimes it just comes down to that's just life. Like, for example, have you ever, can you think of a professional athlete who has won every single contest that they've ever competed in? I can't think of anyone. And so one thing we know is that it's going to happen at some point. And I'm not saying that we should be happy when we lose. I'm not saying that we should just blow it off. It's okay to be disappointed, and it's okay to have normal to have those feelings. We play because winning is fun. It feels good, So it's not that winning or feeling bad about losing is a bad thing, but you might want to take a close look if you're an athlete who, when you lose, maybe those feelings of regret or disappointment or sadness linger for days. So you might look at the length of time that a loss affects you. You also might look at the intensity of those feelings. For some athletes, when they lose, they actually get aggressive and violent and physical in a negative way. So those kind of feelings are maybe less productive in terms of how we deal with the loss. So I think it's important to remember that a true champion, they might feel that disappointment, they might feel the sadness after losing, which is normal, it's fine. But they also get back out there because they love the process. They love the feeling of improving their skills. They get back out and they're on the driving range again. They're back in the gym. They're back on the field practicing their footwork because they love the process. We talk a lot about process, and we're going to keep talking about it because that's one thing that we have more control over, is where our attitude is and where our efforts are going. Luck can sometimes affect outcomes like a win or a loss. The other team's performance can affect that win or loss, but luck doesn't affect our effort. And so that's where we can have the most control and the most impact. So keeping that in mind, and even in life, I think this principle can apply in life as well. The situation that we're in right now, some of us might feel like we're at the bottom of the bottom of the barrel, and things are happening to us that are out of our control, and we can't even go see people or spend time in the gym sometimes. So I think that this time we can also apply that same kind of idea. Sometimes we think we're going through life like this, just going through life just straight on through, but that's not really how life goes, right? It usually looks more like this. Like, we have our ups and our downs, and some last longer than others. Some are short, some are high, some are super low. And so if you're kind of feeling like maybe you're there, maybe you're at the bottom of one of these peaks right now, one thing I like to always keep in mind is that another high is coming. So if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling at the bottom right now, one thing we can count on in life is that it changes, right? Like, the situation we're in now is a change that we didn't see coming. We couldn't anticipate what it was going to look like. It's a change, and we know it'll change again. So if you're feeling like you're there, that you're kind of at the bottom, you don't see any way out, and it's tough right now, just keep that in mind. Life will change again, and another high is coming. So keep that in mind, that those who keep trying, those who keep working will win again, including in our life situations. Good luck this week, everyone.